Hi. Okay, have I got a challenging question for you? So, do you reckon you could work out the area and the perimeter of this shape? So this is bringing in algebra to geometry. So it is a bit tricky. A few formulas that you may find helpful to do this is the circumference of a circle. Circumference just measures the total distance around a circle. So literally this whole pink line is given by 2 pi r, and the area of a circle is given by pi r squared. So do you want to have a bit of a go? See if you could work out what the perimeter and the area of this shape is, and we'll go through it in a second. Well, welcome back. Hopefully you've had a bit of a go. So let's do this. So the first part is probably working out, let's make this highlighter a bit thinner, this section. Okay, so if we're working out the perimeter, we need to know what this distance is in yellow. Hopefully you can see that. I'm representing this distance over here. So let's highlight it so it's easier. So we're going to use this formula, but we don't have a full circle here. We've only got a quarter of a circle, hey? So that would be my full circle. So we've only got a quarter of a circle here. So we're going to have to multiply our circumference formula by a quarter. The next question you might ask is, what's the radius of this circle? Well, if I had a full circle, my radius would be from the center to an edge. So this is my radius, and it's told me very nicely that it's the same as that, which represents x. So the radius of my circle is x. So let us start off by calculating that. So maybe this would make it a bit clearer. So let's calculate that first. So circumference of a circle is given by pi r, 2 pi r, and we're going to multiply it by a quarter, and we know the radius is x. So that just simplifies to 2 pi x times a quarter, which is basically 2 pi x on 4. 2 and 4 simplify just to 1 and 2, because 2 goes into both of them. So this just simplifies to pi x on 2. So that represents this section here. Beautiful. So that's our first part. We also, in order to work out our perimeter, need to know, I guess, what this distance is over here. And that distance is basically that distance, which is the radius of the circle. So we know that is just x. We know that this distance over here is that distance, so that is just 2x minus 3. Okay, so let's write these in a slightly darker color so it's easier to see. What are my color options? Let's write it in dark blue. So we said that this section over here is 2x take 3, and this is x. Okay, so we've labeled this diagram. So even if you didn't have a go before, maybe now you can have a bit of a go. See if you can work out. Let's just do perimeter first, and then we're going to do the area in a second. But you might be able to do this both. So work out the perimeter and the area. I'm confident you could do this. So let's check your answer now. So my perimeter is given by this part first, which we said was pi x on 2. Then we're going to have to add. So we've already added this distance over here. So now we just need to add that distance, and that distance. So let's add that first, which is x, plus 2x take 3, plus another x, plus another 2x take 3. So let's just write that out, and then we're going to simplify it. So it was plus x plus 2x take 3, and we've got two lots of that, so we could just put a 2 outside plus another x, and that gives me their perimeter. Okay, time to simplify. So pi x on 2 just remains. We still have this x. Then we're going to multiply both of these by 2. So make sure you multiply every single element by 2. So that gives me 4x takes 6. And then we still have that x at the end. Okay, let's collect like terms. So you've got x, 4x, and another x. Remember, when x is by itself, it just means there is a 1. So we've got pi x on 2. 1x plus 4x is 5x, plus another x is 6x. And then we've got take 6. And let us just remove a factor of x out. So everything that's got x, which is just this fella. So we're going to factorize that and this. And that's why we put the x outside the bracket. So plus 6. And then we have minus 6. So that is my perimeter. Well done if you got that correct. If you didn't, not to worry. Hopefully it made sense and you understand the logic and the reasoning about what happened there. Shall we give the area a go? Okay, so let me just get rid of all my annotations, and then I will just copy and paste this picture below. So we have another copy that we could freely annotate and it doesn't get confusing. There we go. Okay, so it's a weird shape to work out the area. So what we can do is work out the area of this full rectangle and then this quarter of a circle, which I'm going to color in. And if you subtract those two areas, hopefully you can see that you're left with the shape that remains. So let's just visually draw what we're going to do. We're going to work out the area of this rectangle, and then with my beautiful art skills, let us draw a quarter of a circle. We're going to subtract our quarter of a circle, and we're left with the shape that we're looking for. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so let's do the full rectangle. So remember, we said that this distance over here is just 2x take 3, and this distance was the radius of the circle, which is x. Beautiful. So to work out the area of this rectangle, it's 2x take 3 plus x, and that was x over here. So we just multiply the length times the width. But let's just simplify that first. So we have 2x take 3 plus x, and we're going to multiply that by x. And we could collect like terms, so you've got 2x plus x. So remember there's a 1 here, so 2x plus x is 3x take 3. And if you multiply this, you get 3x squared, because you can multiply that by x, and then that second term by x. 3x squared take 3x. Okay, the second part, let's work out the area of the quarter of a circle. So it's going to be a quarter times pi r squared, and we know r is x. So that just leaves me with pi x squared on 4. So we're going to subtract that area, right? So subtract pi x squared on 4. So the area is just 3x squared minus 3x minus pi x squared on 4. And you know you've got to simplify and factorize in maths, because we always like to do that. We always want to simplify our answers. X is common to all of these, so we can remove that as a factor, and we're left with 3x minus 3 minus pi x on 4 is my area. Hopefully that makes sense and you're feeling good and you got that. So the perimeter was just over here, And we broke that down. When you look at that, it looks complex, but we did it step by step, and hopefully it made sense and you understood exactly how we worked that out. And then the area, again, looks pretty advanced, but remember we did this step by step, and we could do this. So good work for watching this. Excellent work if you got this right. If not, don't worry. It's all about learning, trying, and then eventually getting it right. And it may take a few goes, but I believe in you. I know you could do this. So re-watch this video a few times if you have to, just so it gels in. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, if you got the answer correct, make sure you leave a comment on the comment section. Feel free to subscribe or like, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.